Well, hello, 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 everyone. Hope you're doing well today. This is Doc Hogg, and this is C&V Midday. Glad to have you aboard, and couple of quick things here. First of all, my comic book Tilt Part 2 is now funding. I am over $1,500 toward my goal, which is 38% toward my goal. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm very grateful to everyone who's backed so far. And if you haven't yet, I hope that you can. If you didn't get a chance to back Tilt 1, there is a couple ways you can purchase Tilt Part 1 in the Tilt 2 campaign. You can buy a physical copy as an add-on, and there is also a digital copy as an add-on for just very cheap $1. Let's see here. Couple of things, just a couple of quick updates. One of the tiers where you get drawn into the comic has been taken, but there's still 3 of those left. And kind of depending on how issue 2 turns out, we're still, some of the final pages are going to be drawn soon. May be able to add another one where you can get drawn into issue 3. There may be a lot of potential for that here. So we'll see. Also, one of the original art pieces, Vic King's tribute to Graveyard Shift, has been taken, but sorry folks, got to check my phone again, but there are still many there are still many well, at least 3, sorry, many. There are 3 original art pieces that you can still buy, including the reissue cover, the variant cover. See the variant cover, the and the original artwork deck of cards. Sorry about that pause there, folks. So yeah, do back Tilt today if you can, and yeah, it's really off to, I think it's just off to a fantastic start. Again, thank you everyone. I really do appreciate it. Alrighty, let's move on to today's topic, which is San Francisco has passed something called the CAREN Act, and before we get into that, I just want to briefly look at what it was that really precipitated the CAREN Act here. So let's take a look at this video. This involves someone named James Juanillo. He was confronted by 2. He looks to me to be Hispanic. I'm guessing he is. He was confronted by 2 white people, Lisa Alexander and Robert Larkins. They called the police on him for stenciling Black Lives Matter onto his property last Tuesday. Okay, so this is what, let's first take a look at this where he talks about being offered an apology.
With this seal, this restaurant is committing to higher levels.
Sorry, gotta run the ad.
The expertise that helps keep hospitals clean is helping keep businesses clean too. Look for the Ecolab Science Certified seal.
Hey, beautiful day.
We met James Juanillo at his office.
Oh, buddy.
This local park is his safe haven, where he works as a dog walker and reflects
Are you defacing private property?
on everything he has experienced since posting this video last Thursday.
Well, apparently I have a platform now.
A lot has changed since last Tuesday, when Juanillo was confronted by Pack Heights residents Lisa Alexander and Robert Larkins for stenciling Black Lives Matter with chalk on what turned out to be his property. Since the video went viral, Alexander, the CEO of LaFay Skin Products, lost her account with Birchbox and issued this apology. Quote, "When I watched the video, I am shocked and sad that I behaved the way I did.
What's your name, sir?
The man in the video, Robert Larkins, was terminated today by financial service firm Raymond James. A day before that, he also issued an apology. And this is the first time James Juanillo sees it.
The woman has had her business. I assume Birchbox was a part of her business, and that's been damaged. And this guy, the Robert Larkin, I think, has actually lost his job. All right. Okay. So let's go on.
Police watch. It was wrong, and I'm profoundly sorry for treating him with disrespect.
What do you think about that?
Okay.
Wow, that's about as much of a mea culpa as you can expect. And I'd be willing to talk to him. And if he expresses that to me in person, I will forgive both of them.
We're also seeing change in this neighborhood. 2 days ago, the retaining wall looked like this. Now, fast forward to today. James Juanillo's house has become a canvas for the Black Lives Matter movement. John Newmeyer, the owner of the downstairs of this house, says he appreciates the community's support.
Where is it? There it is. We're also activists.
Juanillo says there are many lessons to be learned, including
Love thy neighbor as you would love thyself. Maybe that's a little simplistic, but I believe it's the truth.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what exactly was the incident, though, that led them to losing their jobs? They must. I mean, this Lisa Alexander and Robert Larkins. They must have done something really, really bad and racist that demands an apology. So let's take a look at the incident here. And again, probably have to sit through the commercial. That's all right. I don't mind.
This seal, this
I guess I get some free advertising on my show.
restaurant is committing to higher levels of cleanliness. The expertise that helps keep hospitals clean is helping keep businesses clean too. Look for the Ecolab Science Certified seal.
Is this your property? Hi, I'm asking you if this is your property.
Why are you asking?
Because it's private property.
Because it's private property,
So,
sir.
are you defacing private property, or is this your building? You're free to express property.
Because it's private property,
So,
sir.
are you defacing private property, or is this your building? You're free to express your
No,
opinions,
we
but not on people's property.
Okay,
absolutely,
Sure.
just respectfully.
sure.
So we're just saying, absolutely, your signs and everything, and that's good. This is not the way to do it.
Okay.
It's private property.
But if I did live here and it was my property, this would be absolutely fine. And you don't know if I live here or if this is my property.
We actually do know. That's why we're asking.
Oh, really? Because you live here, right? You
No,
said so.
Because we know the person who does it.
Oh,
Sorry about the buffering, folks. Let me try to.
oh, really? Because you live here, right? You said so.
Because we know the person who does live here.
Oh, okay.
So
Then
that's all
I
we
suggest
wanted to
you
ask.
call
I'm
him
not
or
disagreeing with
call the
you.
police,
Why do you
or
wanna call the police?
because
What do you
you're
want me
accusing me
to?
of a crime, correct?
What I'm asking you is why are you
And I'm
doing
not
this?
answering you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So your choices are to call the cops if you believe I'm calling a crime, and I will more than be happy to talk to him.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name again?
I'm Lisa.
Lisa, what's your last name?
What is your name?
What's your name? I asked
I'm
first,
not
Lisa.
committing a crime,
What's your name, sir? What's your last name, sir?
What is your first name, sir?
I'm not answering. I'm not talking to you. You're talking to me. I'm asking you the questions.
Well, we're not doing anything illegal.
Neither am I.
Actually,
you
you are.
are
Because it's
actually.
Really?
private property.
Oh, okay. Well, then call the cops.
We will do so.
Lisa and Robert.
Yeah.
I'll be right here.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. And that, people, is why Black Lives Matter. That's Karen, and she's calling the cops. And this is going to be really funny because she knows the people who live here personally.
Okay, am I missing something here, folks? And really, I mean, if you want to,
this restaurant is
if you want to, you know, email me or hit me up on Twitter, or put a comment in the comment section here, please, because I must be missing something here. Okay, what was the woman a little obnoxious and acting maybe a little bit like a Karen? Okay, fine, maybe she was, but I'm not clear on exactly what they did wrong. They saw a guy painting something and you know, on there, and it could have been graffiti, and she was just, you know, she's asking, is this your property? And the guy, this James Juanillo, never answers her, never says, yeah, I live here, it's my property, or something like that. That's all they were asking. All right. And so, you know, and then Juanillo challenges them to call the police. And they say, all right, we'll call the police. I mean, he's, you know, frankly, I don't think that if anyone's acting entitled here, it seems to me, and again, I know this may be controversial, but too bad. I think James Juanillo's kind of the one acting entitled here. Someone's asking him if he's, you know, look, you see someone painting on an outside of a wall like that, or the outside of a property, it looked like a planter box to me, whatever. Okay, could it be graffiti? I mean, it could, and graffiti is against the law. Number two, you know, you don't want graffiti in your neighborhood because it's, you know, you might be ringing the dinner bell, so to speak, for other criminal elements. Oh, you know, people don't, you know, it's the broken windows theory of policing. You know, that once, you know, certain little things start going to pot or going downhill, that brings in potentially other crime. So I'm sorry. I mean, why didn't he just say, look, I live here, this is what I'm doing? And, you know, that would have been fine. Okay. But no, he actually challenges them to call the police. But it's Robert. It's the man who's lost his job, Robert Larkin. And this, the woman, Lisa Alexander, you know, they've had to apologize. Who is not aware, but the last have taught me that my action, you know, here she is. Lisa says she wants to, that last 48 hours have taught me that my actions were those of someone who is not aware of the damage caused by being ignorant. Ignorant about what? That you see someone, man, I mean, I don't get it. I must be missing something here. I really must be missing something, okay? Explain it to me. Because look, I live in a condo building. If I saw someone spray, it's against the rules to spray paint, you know, anything on the condo building. And if I saw someone, I would confront. I mean, after seeing this, I don't know if I would, because, you know, I guarantee you I'm going to be accused of being, you know, a racist, and I don't want to lose my job, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm sorry, I what am I missing here? You know, if you see someone defacing property, I think it's kind of your duty to call the police. Okay. Now I understand he wasn't defacing property. He lived there. It's his property. He wants to use his property to send a political message. Fine. Good. It's all, I may disagree with the message, but hey, he has a right to do that. Okay. And, you know, I just don't get it. I must be missing something. So, you know, hit me up, email, Twitter, put comments in the comment section below. Explain to me what I'm missing, because I just don't see it. And then, you know, at the end, I mean, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. James Juanillo seems kind of entitled, and it seemed to me that you know, this Lisa Alexander, and Robert were actually pretty nice to the guy. They confronted him, but they confronted him in a very nice way. They were asking, "Is this your property?" I mean, they asked him. You know, they just wanted to make sure someone wasn't getting their property defaced. That to me is just being a good citizen at any rate. Okay, so like I said, I must be missing something here. I don't get it. I really don't get it. All right. So this is how the San Francisco officials vote unanimously. The San Francisco supervisors have passed the CAREN Act. CAREN. San Francisco officials voted unanimously to ban racially motivated 911 calls. San Francisco supervisors unanimously voted on Tuesday to pass the Caution Against Racially and Exploitative Non-Emergencies, CAREN Act, that makes racially motivated phone calls to 911 illegal. Oh my God! I see so many court cases just spilling out from this. Oh my God! It was first introduced in July after several high-profile incidents, including a couple calling the police on a man writing "Black Lives Matter" in chalk in front of his own home. Was it in chalk? It looked to me like he was painting it on there. So they've got that wrong in Pacific Heights neighborhood. The name is a clear nod to the online moniker Karen. All right, maybe, and you know, she seems like she's a bit of a Karen, but in that particular confrontation, so to speak, I didn't see a lot of entitled behavior on her part. Okay, at any rate, plenty of videos have gone viral. People making false accusation towards people of color, especially escalating the situation by calling the police. The public tends to see these calls as racially motivated, bringing up, journalistic bias there, bringing up questions of whether or not they would be penalized for following. Okay, if the guy had been white and they had confronted him, okay, if he had not been a person of color and they'd confronted him, would it have been, you know? So I just see this is going to go so wrong, because now the CAREN Act will expand the definition of a protected class in San Francisco to prevent false emergency calls with the specific intent to discriminate against a person or otherwise infringe the person's rights or cause the person specified harms on the basis of the person's race, color, ancestry, national origin, place of birth, sex, age, religion, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, height, or weight, according to the press release. The act would accommodate a civil cause of action for the victim of discrimination to recover damages of at least $1,000 in damages plus attorney fees. This is another form of racial violence. Okay, at any rate, I can keep going here, but first of all, I see every person now who is a person of color and gets arrested, regardless of whether or not they're actually committing some sort of crime, they're going to use this to the max. All right. And, you know, this is just a great way because, you know, why not do it? Because you might be able to get some money out of the situation. You know, you may have actually done, you know, some vandalism or maybe assaulted someone and you get the cops called on you, but you're a person of color and you're a criminal and not be, you know, if you're an actual criminal, hey, why not use this law? Because, you know, I can, you know, they only call call the police because I'm a person of color. And now you're going to be, you know, why not do it? Because you might be able to get $1,000 out of the deal. And not to mention the fact that, you know, people are going to be far more reluctant to call the police now whenever it's a person of color, regardless of what they're doing. Okay. Because, you know, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna have to worry about, you know, facing a civil lawsuit for doing so. And I see that this is going to cause someone probably to get seriously injured or maybe lose their life. You know, well, two guys are going at it, and maybe they're both persons of color, or one of them's persons of color. Oh, I don't want to call the cops because, you know, that they on them because, you know, I've seen that this is, you know, this has happened before, that somebody's called the cop and they get hit with a civil suit. So I don't want to do it. And then things escalate and one of them gets assaulted or one of them gets killed. When you're calling the police, had the police show up within a couple of minutes, might have prevented things from escalating. All right. I can see that is where this is going to go. And, you know, I think one of the things we need to stop talking, well, we can talk about white privilege, fine. But I think one of the things we really need to start talking about is political privilege, okay? Because politicians have the ability to use this sort of thing to help themselves get reelected or move on to higher office, but they don't pay any of the costs, okay? It's going to be citizens paying the cost for this sort of thing, all right? You know, we've seen politicians like those in Seattle. The protesters show up in their neighborhoods and they immediately call the cops to, you know, for fear of their property or their safety. Anyone else does it, you know, they can quickly be called racist. But you do it with, but politicians, we've seen plenty of instances where, you know, they're more than happy to call, you know, after denouncing the police, after denouncing people who speak out against riots and so forth. And, you know, wrapping themselves in the flag of Black Lives Matter, they then turn around and, you know, call the police to, you know, make sure the protests in their neighborhood don't turn into riots or whatever else. So, yeah, we need to start talking about political privilege, I think. And I think this is just, again, so just to sum up, one, what did I miss in that video? I mean, genuinely, I don't see a really entitled woman there. I don't think Lisa was a Karen. She looks like she might be, but looks are deceiving. I don't see her doing anything entitled there. I think she's worried that somebody is defacing private property. All right. And, you know, this James Waneo was challenging her to call the police and never said that he lived there. Never said that he lived there. Okay. Why not say it? All right. And then, you know, and the last thing is, you know, I think this CAREN Act is going to cause, the next thing is that this CAREN Act is going to cause a lot of problems. And the people who are probably going to suffer the most are actually people of color who are victims of a crime. And a white person doesn't call the police because they're afraid of getting sued. And, you know, the victim of the crime is a person of color. So, you know, we know, for example, most black murder victims are actually murdered by other blacks. Okay, that is the sort of thing that's going to get worse because of this law, I suspect. And then the final thing is, you know, let's start talking about political privilege, because politicians take things like this and make them so much worse, and they don't have to pay the cost for it. The rest of us do. So, okay, that's all for now. Again, please, if you haven't backed Tilt yet, please do so. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much for showing up. And yeah, have a very pleasant rest of the day.